Welcome back to SCTV. I'm Maddie Hayes.
And I'm Aaron Wilkins, and we got a good video for you this week. Got some Halloween stories. Just got some random stuff this week, so let's get right into it.
Our first story is the active assailant training that happened here on campus. Sam Campin has the story.
Last Wednesday, Simpson held 2 presentations for active assailant training. This presentation was meant to answer any safety questions and be informative to improve community safety.
What we're hoping is that if someone has a lot of fears or concerns, they get some answers. If someone hasn't thought about this and they're like, hey, I should be thinking about that, that's good. And then we'll leave opportunities for Q&A at the end. This really is open for the entire community. We did this presentation this summer just with employees who are around. We wanted to keep it a little smaller, make sure that it went well, and it went very well. And so this is the same one.
The presenter, Officer Jay Hackett, hopes this can be a good first step in extra campus safety.
I hope that students, staff, and really anyone who attends, this is a really great place to start, but it's a really terrible place to finish. It starts a conversation on campus of how we can make campus, and then with that, the city of Indianola a safer place.
Elijah Kiapohiwa Carvalho was in the audience and has worked with administration to get something like this going.
Kind of the biggest thing coming here, at least for this event, was just kind of seeing the fruition of kind of the last year and a half of working with administration and kind of the staff here as a student to try to get a program like this going, as well as just to kind of see, what Indianola Police Department actually has to offer, as well as for information pertaining to like active assailants or any type of serious event that happens on campus, as well as to kind of just see what Simpson's side of it was going to really be like. So it's kind of why I've been here as well as been involved with this program.
Simpson will continue to improve safety by upgrading locks and by putting more emergency information inside each room. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Sam Campin.
Well, I don't know about you, Maddie, but I'm excited to see how the Simpson campus and Indianola Police Department is going to partner in the future.
Moving on, Religious Life Community had a Halloween party this last Tuesday.
Let's take a look at what happened.
RLC hosted a Halloween party last Tuesday, October 29th at Holy Grounds.
Having our fall party, which is where we can join with the other Religious Life communities on campus.
We have different kinds of soups. We have pumpkins to paint for Halloween, and there's a costume contest.
And it's just a nice time for us to come together as a community of religious life on campus, just to do something together.
This is a joint event with FCA and the RLC weekly meeting Connection Point.
FCA has their group, and like RLC has their group that they have. We're just combining those, just building different communities and building relationships with other people.
There's a bunch of Christian groups on campus or spiritual groups on campus. And so Connection Point is kind of a broad kind of group of people meeting together, discussing issues of society that also correspond with religion and how those two fit together.
Usually when we're at FCA, we're diving into scripture, but here's kind of just a time for community to come together and to just kind of relax and have free time with one another. So
I'm a leader for FCA, so being involved in that and having some other leaders running this event, it was pretty simple to just decide to come. And I came last year, and it was just a good time.
I think there's something for everybody here. So just try to integrate a lot of things for everyone so that they will feel welcome, and they also have just a place to go and feel connected spiritually.
It's just a fun time, just meeting new people. You meet a lot of people doing this. Those just relationships that you build are just awesome.
And Simpson is all about having one community. And so this is just an example of how we can better form that community together.
Students and staff, in costume or not, had a frightening good time and got to pick from these prizes.
Keeping up with the Halloween theme, CAB had a costume contest, and Jack Perkins was there to catch the highlights.
Simpson CAB held its annual costume contest this year in Black Box. With multiple students entering with their costumes, it made for a great turnout, even with some technical errors with the music. Students came in with many different costumes. Some went for funny costumes, like an inflatable T-Rex and Among Us character, while others went with more traditional scary costumes like Ghostface. Ghostface really stood out to the judges and to the crowd, with it being the only 2-in-1 costume that changed on stage. Another costume that really stood out to the judges and the crowd was Colonel Sanders, who really made sure they were in character before getting on stage. Some students even went with some heartwarming costumes like Emily Elizabeth with Clifford the Big Red Dog and Wally with Eve. Even though it was not an official award, Wally and Eve won the most adorable costume by reaching the hearts of every single person in the crowd. The costume that came in first was Death from Puss in Boots, with some incredible detail in the gloves and feet and some red light-up eyes to really make the costume stand out. The costume that came in second was the only transforming costume, and that is Ghostface. Third place went to Colonel Sanders, who really went into character and made the crowd laugh while he was on stage. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Jack Perkins.
Those were some pretty cool costumes.
Yeah, what did you dress up as for Halloween?
I was a Subway surfer. What were you for Halloween?
For Halloween, I was Jordan Love. Because I didn't have time to get a costume, so I just wore a jersey.
Lame. Simpson College is moving events onto an app called Storm Cloud. Let's learn more about it.
Student org leaders met with Director of Student Activities Steven Strope last Tuesday to go over the new campus app, Storm Cloud. The app was created to provide students with easy access to events on campus, along with giving student org leaders resources to help manage their teams. Strope believes that as the app is being built out and more people start to use the app, it will eventually serve as the main source of information on campus.
I'm just really excited that we've got this. I think that it is for SGA to recognize that this was a need and to hear student concerns around it and to be willing to fund it. For the next few years, I think was a huge thing.
A couple of student leaders found the app to be very useful as well, finding easy access to communicate with members and create events.
I think the app is a really good way to transition from kind of having to go through other avenues to kind of having the advocacy for yourself and your own organization.
I think it's kind of exciting for like the organization piece and getting stuff scheduled around campus. A lot of times I think stuff gets lost when you're relying on posters and stuff for people to see. So the app's like a good way that you can kind of get a campus schedule going with the events.
Storm Cloud is officially open in the App Store and can be found on desktop in the One Login dashboard. Once students click on Modern Campus Involve, they will be directed to the Storm Cloud homepage. From there, they will be able to look into organizations, show interest in events, and utilize campus resources. If students would like to learn more about the app, they can visit Steven Strope at his office in the Student Org Suite in Kent, or reach out via email. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Grant Love.
Definitely a really cool app. I'll be using it to see when clubs are meeting.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Now on to our Would You Rather. So, Aaron, we had Ethan Humble, previous anchor from a couple years ago now, come up with the question. And it is, would you rather dance every time you hear music or sing along every time you hear a song?
Oh, definitely sing along. I don't got moves like that, so I'm going to have to sing.
A little worm in ya?
What about you?
Wave? Probably, I don't know, dance.
Dance.
A little shimmy shimmy.
All right.
I feel like I do both anyways, so.
That was a good question from Ethan. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have any sports this week, but we do have the recaps.
There were not that many away teams this past week. Men and women's cross country competed in the RLC Championship, where they both got 5th place out of 9. Men's soccer lost their first playoff game against Nebraska Wesleyan 1-0. And that's it for SCTV this week. I'm Aaron Wilkins.
I'm Maddie Hayes. Thanks for joining us.